welcome everyone. I decided to do something different for my 100th video on the channel. We are going to do a walkthrough of Fallout 4. It's going to be a new game. There will be no mods on this one, and I am running the version, this is the Game of the Year version, so it has all of the DLCs that came with it. We are running this on very easy, so I don't die a whole bunch, because that would be sad and probably make me cry later on alone in the dark where no one can see. Okay, but we're going to go through, I'm going to let some of the story go, and hopefully it ends up being okay. So let's give it a shot. We're going to start a new game here. And for those of you that don't know, this is going to be a single player game here. So there's going to be some story that we're going to have to go through, and there's going to be an intro on it that'll happen. I'm not really going to let this whole thing play because I think it's just too much. So if you want to check it out, grab the game. You can check out the intro and see all of it yourself, but we're going to skip this for now. And we are at the start.
War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
All right,
Absolutely.
so starts off
Get
here.
ready and
You
stop
can
hogging
pick
the middle.
Right.
your character. You have a choice between Nate and Nora here.
Hey, my turn, big guy.
I am using an Xbox controller, so all of those will look, the buttons will look different if you're using a PC or a different game. You can change the way they look. There's presets for faces that you can choose from, or you can individually pick an area. Like if I choose the face area and move the circle over it, you can change the way a certain part looks with the buttons that are there. Yeah, we'll change a little bit just to show you what's going on. And there's a lot of different changes that you can make for it. So you can change that. There's extras for markings, blemishes. You can have them have different damage on their face. It's there's some choices. It's not like super amazing with a lot of different choices. You can customize it exactly how you want it every time, but it's pretty good. So we're just going to choose Nate here as the default, and then we're going to head on to this that you can't skip. So you have to pretty much play through this and let it go through its whole thing.
Morning, sir. Your coffee. 173.5 Fahrenheit. Brewed to perfection.
Grognak the Barbarian in the Jungle of the Bat Babies. My favorite.
So you can take a look outside the window here and see what the neighborhood looks like. Take a look over here at my cool car. But you can't go outside the house yet, so you're pretty much stuck just looking through windows and checking out what's going on in the house. Got a pretty nice bathroom going on here. Although I wish there was a huge tub, because that would be awesome. Laundry room.
I was nervous at first,
Yeah.
but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
Master bedroom, which is kind of small, but hey, what are you going to do? Closet and the baby's room. So 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. With a pretty nice pantry. I mean, it's not all bad, right? Got a TV, nice looking couch, little holotape player.
Can you get that? It's probably that salesman. He comes for you every day.
Someone at the door.
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
So with this, you can choose different kinds of responses, and you can pick whichever one you want. Depending on which one you pick is what happens. But for this one, like you kind of just
Good
want to go
morning.
through
Isn't it?
the
Just
the
look at
normal
that sky
greetings
out
to
there.
get through it faster to start the game.
You can't
Although
begin to know how happy
you're going
I
to get
am
there
to
anyways.
finally
Like no
speak
matter
with
which
you.
one you pick, you're going to have
I'm
to get to
flying
the
for
part where
days. It's a matter of
you
utmost
do the normal
urgency,
stuff
I assure
because
you.
otherwise you can't continue the game.
Then I'm glad you caught up with me.
Oh, me too. You have no idea. Now, I know you're a busy fellow, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being a precious commodity. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
Yeah, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep hitting the A button and then hit it a couple times while the guy's speaking so that it goes through the dialogue
Sounds great.
faster,
Oh,
so that we can just get to the part.
Sure, let's do it.
splendid.
All right, so this is where you're going to pick your character name. So let's hit that. All right. And you can pick your stats. I'm just going to go, I'm going to add 3 to everyone for this playthrough. So you have your strength, which measures your raw physical power, affects how much you can carry, and the damage of all melee attacks. Your perception is your environmental awareness and sixth sense, and it affects weapon accuracy and VATS. Your endurance is your overall physical fitness, affects your total health and action points. Drain from sprinting. Also, action points are used for when you aim in VATS, which I'll show you later once we get to the gameplay. Charisma is your ability to charm and convince others, and it affects your success when you persuade people in dialogue and when you're bartering for prices. Intelligence is your mental acuity and affects the number of experience points earned. Agility is your overall finesse and reflexes, and it affects the number of action points in VATS and your ability to sneak. And luck is your just general good fortune and affects the recharge rate of critical hits. So we're going to go ahead and accept
Wonderful.
that.
That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I have my moments.
Sir, Sean has been changed, but he absolutely refuses to calm down. I think he needs some of that paternal affection you seem to be so good at.
Now let's go check on the
You heard
baby.
Codsworth. Go on.
There he is.
How are the 2 most important men in my life doing? Spin the mobile a bit. He loves that. Hey, how's my little guy? Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Sir, Mum, you should come and see this.
Codsworth, what's wrong?
Okay, let's check out what's going on here.
Followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions. We're trying to get confirmation.
What?
We seem to have lost
What did he
contact with our
say?
affiliate stations.
Oh,
we do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Oh my god.
We need to get to the vault. Now!
Okay, time to run to the vault. Don't have time to look at the cool neighborhood. Trees, talk to any of the people. Nope, gotta get there.
Just help me pack it up!
So as you can see down at the bottom, there's some new indicators. The one on the right is the AP, or action points. When I sprint, it drains them. The one in the middle is your directional, and that little box with its numbers lets you know how far away you are from where you need to get to.
We need to get in. We're on the list.
Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
All
You
right.
two, follow me. Come on.
What's gonna happen to all those people outside the
We're doing
gate?
everything we can. Now keep moving. Step on the platform in the center.
Now we can head on down to the vault.
Almost there. We're gonna be okay. I love you. Both of you.
We love you too.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
Hold on.
that's gonna leave a mark.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
And here we are at the
We did
vault.
We made it.
So this is still part of the,
We're okay.
I guess, introduction to the story.
Everyone please.
So we still
step
haven't
off
gotten to the
elevator
gameplay yet.
And proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion.
No need to worry, folks. We'll get everyone situated in your new home. Vault 111. A better future underground.
So we just... Yes, up the stairs.
I can't believe it. If we left a minute later.
Hey.
No, don't get caught up thinking about that.
Goddamn
You're
no.
safe now.
Alright, so we'll walk up here. Lots of official looking scientists, security guards,
Good. Step over
checking
to the
people
table.
in.
Take a seat.
You'll
This
need your
way,
suits
please.
before we can take you further.
Thanks. What now?
Just follow the
Just this
doctor
way.
here. He'll show you where to go.
All right, you three. Follow me.
See? This is our new home.
And now the
Oh,
super
you're
slow
gonna
walk
love
down this hallway.
This is one of our most advanced facilities. Not that the others aren't great, mind you. It's gone. Our
So you can
home.
try to talk to other
Everything
people here,
we
but there's
have.
not really
Hey,
too much conversation that goes on.
What if they didn't make it?
Everyone's pretty much just doing their own thing,
How long do you think we'll be
which makes
down
sense
here?
since this is just the
Oh, we'll be going
introduction.
over all that in orientation. Just a few medical items we have to get through first.
Good fit, don't you think?
Just checking everyone off the list as they come in.
As well as comfortable.
Prepared for the future, right?
Such a lovely family you have. I hope you'll see this as your new home.
Hey
Just
there.
step in here and put your vault suit on. Step into the chamber whenever you're ready.
And the decontamination pod, as they say.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
Time for a whole new life.
Resident secure. Occupant vitals normal. Procedure complete. In 5, 4, 3.
And that does not look like decontamination. So basically what happened was they froze us. And we don't know what's going to happen. So we were supposed to be going into the vault to start a community and live there, but instead we got put in cryopods and frozen without us knowing it.
This is the one. Here.
Open it.
Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's gonna be fine.
Come here. Come here. No, I got him.
So they're trying to take my baby, and I can't do anything except pound on this window. shot my wife. This guy right here. We're gonna see this guy later. Oh yeah. We'll see him again. All right. So here we are, woken up again. A little disorientated.
Come on! There has to be a release! Come on, come on, come on! Oh, God!
I'll find who did this. And I'll get Sean back. I promise.
God. Why would Vault-Tec do this?
Alright, so everybody is still frozen. Let's see what else is going on here. There's just a lot of pods with people.
Can't be the only one left.
That are frozen.
Hello?
And you cannot open
Anyone?
any of those. So here's a terminal. You'll find these in the game. They'll either give you information or you can use them to open up items that are locked by terminals. And there's a lot of good lore here. So like if we click this, it'll let us know that the cryogenic array is offline. And there was a system failure, so that's not good. And the life support's offline, so yeah, pretty much everybody else is dead. It'll give you a list of the pods here, and they're all dead. So you're the only one that survived. So let's follow the green circle, or sorry, the green square as to where to go. Can't get through. So you're going to find a lot of items that you can just like take. As long as you have the capacity to carry them, I'd say just take whatever you can. And then this toolbox, you can, most of these containers you can take stuff from, but you can also, as you can see, transfer, and then I can put stuff into it from the inventory to store things for later. But we're going to keep everything that we have here. We're going to go this way. And that is a giant roach. That's awesome. Pick up this security baton. So now this is a weapon for fighting. I'm going to use the left trigger to block, and the right trigger will swing it. I'm not big on blocking though, so we're probably just going to swing it a whole bunch. And then we're going to look around. You definitely want to look around where you're at to see what's in items, and I'm just picking up as much as I can. So like the desk contains some stuff, the filing cabinet has some stuff. There's a stim pack, which is used to heal you, which we'll go over later once we have access to the menu system, because right now we don't have access to it. And here's another terminal, which again has some more lore stuff in it that you can read through. I'm just going to skip through most of that because we're just doing the pretty much initial gameplay here. So we want to get out of the vault and finish this quest. Okay, and there's a roach. So let's break out the baton. Now you can see I didn't have the baton out to begin with. And so before you attack, make sure you have your weapon out, because otherwise it takes longer to get it out and then attack. So we got that. We're going to pick up the rat roach meat.
Roaches?
Which we'll use later. And then I'm just going to continue to pick up all of these items. And I'm going to stop at this terminal, because this one has a holotape in it that you can play. and you'll find a couple of these here. This one is actually a game that you can play. We'll go through this a little bit here, and it's their take on Donkey Kong. And this is actually me controlling it, so you can actually play the game. It's like a game inception, a game within a game. Alright. Okay, that's enough of that. So we're going to exit that. And then when you find it like this, you can actually hit X to eject the tape. And now I have that tape in my inventory. And if I go to another terminal, I can pop it in and play it on another terminal. We're taking all this stuff. Now, if you find like sinks like this, there's water you can drink. If you take some damage, it'll heal it. But we haven't taken any damage yet, so we're good. We're going to stay away from that because electricity is bad. Usually the roach will go through and then get zapped. But it doesn't want to. So let's go around. And then this one has the activate, but it doesn't really do anything.
What happened here? Where is everyone?
It basically just triggered that voice line. More roaches. Oh no, I took damage. Oh yeah, he went on very easy. Okay, so now there's another water fountain, so it shows you on the left there's my HP. I am now back to full after taking some damage. More stim packs, yes, and a gun and some bullets. So now we have a weapon. We'll take those eyeglasses for later. I'm going to search around still because I like to search everything. More rounds, another gun. Okay, so we're supposed to go here.
Gotta find the terminal.
But this tells you it's locked and you need the terminal to unlock it. So we'll go back to the terminal. And open evacuation tunnel. We'll exit out and now it is open. Okay, so now that we have a gun, we can use the VATS system. So I hit the left button and it opens up VATS, which lets you target stuff and it slows down time. So it's still moving, but it's super slow. As you can see, I've targeted this cockroach and there's 4 places to hit it. There's the torso, right legs, left legs, and the head, which I'm using the left stick to move to the different body parts. And then if I use the right stick to go right, it'll change targets to this. So what I can do is if I go this way and I hit VATS and target this one, usually when you exit VATS, it'll leave your sights on that. So it's normally right there so you can kill it. And now this one's running at me. So I'm going to use VATS. I'm going to hit the trigger button to hit the torso once and then hit A to accept and it'll auto fire. And then I got hit. So the numbers that are on it are your likelihood of hitting that target. So I have a 60% chance to hit the torso if I fire it with VATS now. But if I exit out of VATS and then aim, you're pretty much dead on. I'm going to hit X to reload. And then we're going to move slow. Okay. So here comes some other ones. I'm going to cycle to the other ones and try to get 3 hits, which I did. So probably because it's very easy. But it really helps out a lot if you're getting mobbed with a lot of like enemies coming at you. Then you can just do that to slow down time, and you don't have to get flustered by trying to hit shots and missing and taking damage. But that drains your action points, which I didn't pause it to show, but when I target it down at the right, you can see that red area. That's going to take that many action points off for when I use it. So you can't do it indefinitely. There's only a certain amount that you can do at a time. But let's go ahead and take this one out. And then that one just popped out of nowhere, which enemies will do sometimes. A little jump scare to keep you on your toes. We are going to search around as I reload. And this is where I couldn't get in before, but now this is open, so we're back at the beginning. More rounds for the gun. And now
Pip-Boy interface required to activate vault door cycling sequence.
so it's telling us we need a Pip-Boy, which is this on the ground. So let's go ahead and take this off of a skeleton hand, because why not? So we watch as this wrist computer boots up, and this is going to give us our menu interface. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting B to bring it up. As you can see, once it brings it up, you can hit A and get a stim pack to heal you, X for a RadAway, and Y gives you the perk chart. So we'll go through this menu first here. The first one is your stats. It gives you a status, which tells you if you have any armor on. It'll let you know what kind of armor you have. There it tells us that we have a gun equipped that does 18 damage, and that our overall outfit gives us 5 against electrical damage and 10 against radiation. Down at the bottom is our hit point total. We're at 99 out of 100. The middle is level 1. And then the right is our action points, 100 out of 100. So if I use the D-pad on my controller, I can move over to the specials under the stats, which just lets you know what your special score is. And then perks if you have any. Then I'm going to use the triggers to go in between the menus. So we have our inventory with weapons. We have 2 pistols and a security baton. It'll tell you the damage, what type of rounds it takes, your fire rate, your range, accuracy, weight, and value. And then also what kind of rounds. It tells you how much you have. So we have 127 rounds right now. Apparel, it gives you everything in your inventory, and then actually for the weapons too. The 10mm pistol is equipped with, that's you can tell because there's a square next to it. So the same with the apparel. We have a vault suit on and the wedding ring. So I'm going to go over the eyeglasses. Down at the right, it'll tell you that they give you perception +1, how much they weigh, and their value. So I'm going to add those so that our perception score goes up. And then also here at the bottom left, it shows you your weight capacity. So we're at 30 pounds out of 240. That C is for the currency, which we'll find later. We have 0. And then again, it shows you your armor at the bottom right. Aid, we have radroach meat and a stim pack. Stim pack will give you 30% of your HP. Weighs nothing, and the value is 48. That's if we were to sell it, we could get 48 of the currency. The radroach meat, it'll give you 15 hit points. The rads is actually how much radiation you'll take. So radiation damage is another kind of damage that you can take in this game. So we kind of don't want to eat that unless we have to. Otherwise we'll take damage So we'll end up with a net 4 HP from that. And then weight and value again. Miscellaneous, these are just other types of things. So we have our holotape here and some bobby pins, which we'll need later. Junk, this is all of the stuff that we picked up. And why we picked it up is because it'll give you things later on. So as you see, adjustable wrench on the right, it tells you gear and steel 2. So that means when you scrap that, you'll get a gear and steel, which we need to build things later, which is why we picked up all of this stuff. All of this here can be scrapped into other items. Mods are anything that are for weapons to add, like you can add scopes or different kind of magazines to it, and then the ammo that I'm carrying. Your data will give you your quest. Right now we just have out of time, which is to exit the vault. It tells you the date in game, which is 10/23, 2287, and it's 9 in the morning. Workshops, that's for later when we have settlements, and then stats just gives you a general stats of what you've done in the game. So right now we've just collected junk, and we've had looted 1 chest so far. And then the map, this is the entire map for this part of the game, which it's fairly large. I mean, it's not super huge, but it's big enough for good exploring. And then we have the radio, which we're not really going to use too much. Once we get to the surface, there's like actually radio stations you can listen to music, but because of copyright, we're not going to be listening to the music, but we'll use it for other things. So that's it for your menu. The other thing is perks. So if I hit Y, it'll give you your perk chart, which has your special stats at this top, and it lets you know where you're at. So right now, strength, we're at level 4 out of 10. 10 is the highest unless you have something else that adds to it, which we'll probably go over later. And then depending on what level you have there is how far down you can go in your perk chart to choose them. And they'll let you know if you need a level requirement or not. So like for Iron Fist requires strength 1, and it'll let you know what it does. So this one, your punching attacks do 20% more damage to your opponent if you choose it. We don't have any to choose yet because we haven't leveled up, so we're not going to go through all of this. We'll probably just go through them as we level up, and I'll let you know why I've picked what I've picked. Alright, so now let's get out of here. And usually when I play, I just come here first and open the vault door because it takes a while, and while it's opening is when I'll look around here and pick up everything else. Okay. So now this is open, so we can go through. Waiting for the elevator. Okay, so now before we exit, you have the chance to change your name or attributes after the little playthrough to see if you want to change anything. You can change your experience, or I'm sorry, your appearance, and we can just exit the vault. So we're going to exit the vault and get on with the game.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
as you play on, you're going to learn to love the loading screens. So much fun stuff. Alright, we're out in the bright sun. And we've completed that one, and now we have a new quest to go home. So if I open up this and go to data, as part of this out of time quest, we've exited the vault, and now it just says go home. And as you can see, everything is fairly devastated out here and desolate. So we are going to look around amongst the skeletons and pick up items. The Nuka-Cola is something that we can use for aid. So it gives you 20 HP, RADS 5, AP 10, and its value is 20. We'll keep that if we need it. I'm going to look at all these boxes. We've got some Rad-X and a Molotov. So the Rad-X will give you radiation resist if you're in an area where there's radiation. And then the Molotov is a weapon that's kind of like a grenade. You can equip it with the 10mm pistol. So I'm going to hit A to equip that, and then we can throw that at things at the same time as using the weapon. And let me show you what that looks like. So we hit the right trigger button to get it ready, and then I aim and throw it, and that's a Molotov cocktail. Alright. For this, you can hit the button, and then you can walk back onto the platform. It'll take you back down to the vault, but we're not going to go there now. We're going to pick up some more stuff and look around. I like to look everywhere because sometimes there's things just laying around that you'll want. There's some cram, which is another food item, but it's got radiation, so we're probably not going to use that. Okay. Here is a bottle cap, and that is your currency. So as you can see now, we have one down at the bottom of the currency, one bottle cap, and that is what everybody uses now. Oops, switchblade. Okay, we'll head back down where we came from to go back home. I don't know if you can hear me breathing when I'm sprinting and you get close to your AP being up, and then you'll start breathing heavier. That lets you know that you're getting close to the end of that. And like all of this is just desolated. So since we have to go somewhere, I'm looking at the bottom of the HUD, which is in the middle, where it gives you the directions. So that's south, east, and as you can see, there's a box with numbers on it that tells you how far you are away. So I'm gonna put that in the middle and then head the way it goes. It'll start counting down, and then I see that green box on top of that robot, so we're gonna go there because that's where we need to go, and we're gonna talk to this robot.
I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through this whole thing. We're not gonna skip through it just so you guys can hear it. So I'm just gonna choose A though because that's the easiest way to get through, and we'll see how it goes.
Codsworth? You're still here. So other people could still be alive too.
But of course I'm still here. Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you seem the worse for wear. Best not let the wife see you in that state, hmm? Where is the missus, by the way?
She's in a better place.
Sir, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
Sean's been kidnapped. But I'm going to find him. I'm going to get my son back.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
Doesn't matter how long it's been. I feel fine.
A bit over 210, actually, sir. Or give or take a little, for the Earth's rotation and some minor dings to the old chronometer. That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner. Perhaps I can whip you up a snack? You must be famished.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here to go through some stuff. So apparently we've been frozen for over 200 years. So awesome. But now we're in the part of this where you can see one of the choices I have is yellow. And it tells you in the top left about that. So if it's yellow, it's kind of difficult. Orange is more difficult. Red is the most difficult. And that's where you use your charisma to try to persuade that person. So I'm going to hit the Y button.
Codsworth, you're acting a little bit weird. What's wrong?
Oh, sir, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing. And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car. How do you polish rust?
So we passed it, and that's what that little line popped up, plus 17, with the pit boy, little boy that just points, or the pit boy man that points at you. So we got experience points for that. But let's go ahead and finish this out.
Stay with me, pal. Focus.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, sir. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and your family were dead. I did find this holotape. I believe the missus was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything happened.
Okay, so we got a holotape, which we'll check out in a little in a minute here. So let's finish this up again.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? The missus and young Sean may turn up yet.
All right. Lead the way.
Proud to serve, sir.
Okay, so this is your introduction to more combat, and also to kind of what it's like to have someone running with you, like a companion, which we'll also find later. So we're going to go through, and he's pretty much just going to wipe all of this stuff down.
Everyone's still alive.
We're going to loot these bodies.
Wait, my senses are picking up movement in another house. Follow me.
Now, for those ones, it looks like we didn't get any XP for those kills, so I'm going to run ahead on this one, because I know where we're going. And I'm going to shoot this guy, so then I get the XP for it. And then we'll let Codsworth come in and do the rest.
Come on, sir, we can take them. Ouch. Terrific. Sir, your family isn't here either. They're really gone, aren't they?
Thanks for trying, Codsworth.
You can't give up, sir. What about the city? Concord is nearby, and, well, the people there have only shot at me a few times.
Thanks for your help, Codsworth.
Good luck, sir. You'll find young Sean. I know you will. I shall remain here to secure the...
Alright, so he's given us an investigate Concord. Before we do that, we're going to go over this area. So this is technically a settlement. And the way you can tell that is if you're looking around and you find these red workshop items. So this is a workshop. Once you get to a new place, you can open it up and search through it. So this lets you know you can build, adjust, and remove nearby objects and structures. Move between the options in the menu with your D-pad. Select your object, hit A to build it. If it appears red, you can't build it there. And then workshop objects are built from components. So whatever you have in junk, if you need components, it will automatically scrap it there, or you can just scrap stuff as we're going to show in a second. So hit OK, and this gives us a menu down at the bottom with some, you got structures, furniture, decorations, power, defense, resources, stores, crafting, cages, and raider stuff. We'll go over these for a second. I'm going to leave this menu up though, because as you run around, you can see this mailbox is highlighted. It tells you it's a mailbox. If I hit X, it'll ask me if I want to scrap it, and it tells me I can get 6 steel. So I'm going to scrap that and get 6 steel. You can do that with just about anything that it'll let you do it, but there's some things that you can't. So like apparently I cannot scrap these leaves. So that's just going to have to stay there and look kind of weird. Bushes, same thing. There's a lot of stuff that here that you can't scrap, but you know, whatever you can, you're going to want to. So we'll scrap this car, and then also we can scrap this entire ruined house. And as you're looking around the settlement, you'll see this green line. This is the boundaries of this settlement. So you can build stuff within the boundary. You can remove stuff within the boundary. But once you go past it, it'll give you a warning that you're outside the area, and the workshop will auto exit. So as you run around, it gives you the entire perimeter of it, which is not always going to be square. There's going to be a lot of weird ways that it goes and doesn't go, and building is kind of difficult sometimes because of that. So that's the basic scrapping, and there's also videos on my channel of me scrapping settlements with a mod on there that scraps everything, so I can get rid of the leaves and these bushes and stuff, so that it looks a little bit cleaner. But that won't be happening in this playthrough, so everybody else can experience the pain of stuff being in the way and it looking kind of weird still. So let's go ahead and exile that for a second. We'll build stuff later after we finish the Concord quest. But to go over the rest of this stuff here, there's also different crafting stations. So this is a power armor station. If you have power armor, you can craft stuff there. You have a weapons workbench, which we do have a weapon, so it lets you choose it, and it tells you what's there and what options that you have. We don't really have any options because we don't have anything for it. But if I go to standard receiver and click on it, it tells you what's required for it. So for this light frame receiver, we would need adhesives, which we don't have, which is why we can't build it. If you go down further, you'll see something popped up on the right here. This says gun nut. So for an armor piercing automatic receiver and these other ones, you need the gun nut perk rank 1 to be able to put that on, even if you do have all of the items. So that's a little incentive for other perks. So we're going to exit out of that, and then we'll go this way, and we'll check out a couple other stations that are around. So back here, this is the chemistry station where you can make these different kind of items if you have the recipes for them. Drugs are good to make because you can use them to increase your stats temporarily, and they're good for selling, but we don't have any of that items, and we'll probably do a whole tutorial later on that. But let's go back this way, and I'm going to finish clearing this place out because there are still some items like that cockroach that just popped up. And there should be one here. Now there's more that we'll encounter later, but I'm just doing this real quick to show you this other station, which is a cooking station. And this is really cool for the food that you have. So as you can see, we don't really have a lot of these, but when I go over roast, the more is highlighted, which means that I have more options down below that I can do. So let's open this up, and we'll scroll down. And we have grilled radroach. So this is going to take that radroach meat that we picked up and then convert it into something else. So as you can see on the left, it'll tell you that once we cook this, it'll give us HP of 30. It'll weigh half a pound, and the value is 7. So that we can get all the radiation out of that meat, and then we can now heal ourselves without taking the radiation damage. And we've gotten XP from cooking that, which is also good. And now if we go into our inventory, there is the grilled radroach that gives us our HP. So that is the initial part of it. Let's start going. We're just going to finish one more thing here before we finish. So I'm going to take a look at the map. And you can see there's an icon for about where we'd have to go to investigate Concord. And this is where we're at. So we are going to start heading that way to see what we can find. There's stuff in the trash, so we will take that. Oh, actually, before we go, let's head back to the workshop. Since you do have a finite carrying space, you kind of don't want to take anything that you don't need when you're traveling. What happens is if you carrying too much stuff, then you won't be able to sprint. And sometimes that's bad. So actually, I didn't want to do that. Let's exit out of that. Nope. I'm going to hit transfer. Now, there are already things in the workshop that you can use, and you can usually find these in any workshop. You're usually going to have something. But I'm going to use the left trigger to go to my inventory, and I'm going to use the D-pad to scroll through. So now we got weapons. I don't need 2 pistols, so I'm going to drop 1. I'm not using fragmentation grades because I have Molotov cocktails, and I do not need a security baton or a switchblade, so we're going to drop that. And as you can see, whenever we drop stuff, if it has weight, our weight will go down. So right now we're at 54 out of 240, and I can drop the wrench. We went down to 53. Also, if you just have junk and you know you're not going to need any of that junk, I'm going to hit Y, and it's going to store all of my junk in one go. So that is there. We're down to 11. I am also going to store the folder because we don't need it, and the Red Menace. And then I'm going to store the wedding ring. Exit out, and then I'm going to bring up the inventory so I can show you the holotapes. So we're going to listen to this Hi Honey holotape. for everybody. So I'm just going to hit A, and it'll pop it in my Pip-Boy and play it.
Oopsie. No, no, no. Fingers away. There we go. Okay. Just say it. Right there. Right there. Yay. Hi, honey. Listen, I don't think that Sean and I need to tell you how great of a father you are. But we're going to anyway. Isn't that right? You are kind and loving. Funny. That's right. And patient. So patient. Patience of a saint, my mom used to say. Look, with Sean and us all being home together, it's been an amazing year. But even so, I know our best days are yet to come. There'll be changes, sure. Things we need to adjust to. You'll rejoin the civilian workforce, and I'll shake the dust off my law degree. But everything we do, no matter how hard, we do it for our family. Now, say goodbye, Sean. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on. Bye, honey. We love you.
Okay, so hopefully you could hear that. If not, it was basically your wife with your baby giving you a message of how much they love you and appreciate you, so that you can feel sad because they're dead and gone, and give you motivation to finish up the quest. So let's go ahead and drop that in there, and we will head on our mission for revenge. Alright, let's make sure our weapon's out and we're loaded. And it looks like we have some dead bodies. So we have a raider and a wild mongrel. Looks like they died fighting each other. We are going to loot everything here. And looks like there is something here. Ah, that is a bag. So we have now a pipe pistol, a pipe revolver, and a tire iron. It looks like this pipe revolver rifle does more damage than our previous weapon we have now, but as you can see, there's only 14 ammo for it, so we're not going to use that right now, but we're going to keep that. And it looks like we are at the Red Rocket, which is a futuristic gas station, and here is a dog. So let's greet the dog as it tells us to.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself? You want to come with me, pal? Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Okay, so now the dog is kind of like a companion. It'll go places with me, and it'll run around and drive you crazy, as you will see. So I'm going to try to get close enough to it. So if I can command it, so I can talk to it, I can trade with it, I can tell it to stay, or just cancel this. But if I go trade, then I can actually have it carry things for me to lighten my load. So I'm going to give it these extra items that I don't need. And then we will do that. Actually, that reminded me. So we picked up a drifter outfit. If I hover over it, it'll let you know all of the stats for it. So for this one, it gives you 5 armor, 7 electrical, and 0 for radiation. Weight 10, value 35. So you can see from the pluses on the side, that tells you that it is better than what I'm currently wearing. So it has 5 more armor than what my current outfit has. 7 is 2 higher than the 5 that I have for my armor, so that's better. But then it doesn't have as much radiation blockage, so that's the minuses. So we're not gonna take care of that. So I'm gonna have the dog carry it too if I can catch up to him.
Hey.
Which, as you can see, is kind of hard because he tends to run ahead of you. So I'll have him carry that as well. All right, so we're going to check this place out. And here's a workshop. So this is another settlement. And as you can see, it has its own little green outline, which is not as big as the other one, but it's still a settlement, and there's enemies. I'm going to exit out of this menu because it's hard to fight with the menu on. Ooh, mole rats. And we'll use bats to take care of these. Oh. This is more jump scare stuff because they just pop out of the ground. And as you can see from the stuff that I'm looting, they have all kinds of stuff in them. This one's got a bottle cap, teeth in it. The other one that we did had like an 8-ball in it. So I guess it was at a pool hall. And 8 and 8-ball, which is also more junk. So we're going to keep that for when we build stuff. There's more. Where'd it go? As you can see on the bottom, there was a red square that's there. If you rewind it and see, the red square tells you where the enemies are if they're close enough for that. So you can kind of track them. Because I could hear it, but I just didn't know where it was at. Okay. So we cleared all that. And if we look on the map, this is as far as we've gotten. So we're like halfway to Concord when we found this. And since this is a spot, it puts a little icon on here. So now what we can do is, since I'm not in Sanctuary, if I want to go back to Sanctuary, I can hit A to click on it, and it'll ask me if I want to fast travel. And I want to hit yes. So then you don't have to walk back. Which is really good for farther away places. For this one, not so much because the loading screen takes a little bit longer than if I would probably just ran back, being so close. But I just wanted to show you what the fast travel is. This is something else you can't do if you're overburdened or if there's enemies nearby. It will not let you fast travel. But otherwise, you can just fast travel, and then it will take off time. So I should have showed you what it looked like beforehand. Or you can rewind to see what the time was beforehand, but it'll add time. So sometimes if you travel a long distance and it's day, you'll end up there, it'll be night. I'm going to drop all of our junk off again. And then I'm going to go back and see if we can cook some more stuff, since we got some other meat. I'm going to actually hold down the X button to put away the weapon. Alright, so we have more roast stuff. And we have mole rat chunks now, which will give you HP of 50. It'll increase your action points by 5. Weighs a half a pound and value is 8. So let's make those. And then mongrel meat will give you a mutt chop, which is 40 HP, weighs a half a pound, and value is 12. And that is it. And we are so close to leveling. I'm actually going to build something. Actually, I'll build a couple things. So let's go back to the workshop. And we're going to go over the HUD at the top. So at the top, it tells you how many people is in your settlement, the food, water, power, defense, situation, how many beds, and the overall happiness. And then that size is how much stuff there is. And to get that down, you need to scrap things, which it's not really going to show you a lot as I scrap, because you have to scrap a whole bunch for it to go down. But once you get close to that size limit from building, it won't let you build anymore. So that's why when I go through, I scrap everything that I can and all of it. And then that gives me a lot more space to build things. So we're going to go back to my house. And we are going to scrap a lot of stuff here. Okay, and oh, there's your special book, which it's highlighted, but we can't scrap it, which means we can probably pick it up. So let's exit out and pick it up. And this item lets you pick an attribute to improve. So I am going to improve charisma so that we have better barter prices and I can persuade people more. So if I go to my stat and special, my charisma is now at 5. Now this adds it permanently, so it just changed it to 5, whereas the perception has a plus on it and the 5 because our glasses are giving us a +1. So when we take the glasses off, that will not be there, but that your special is there for the rest of the game now, so that stays. So let's continue scrapping. I just held down the little menu button on my Xbox controller, and that opened up the workshop, so I didn't have to run back to the workshop to open it up again. And I don't really care too much about this stuff. I'm just scrapping everything. I pause on this one because this one, besides wood, it gives you nuclear material. Sometimes you'll find things that give you extra stuff, and you want to look out for that, because down the line you're going to need those special items for when you build more complex items in the game. Let's get rid of this rug. Let's see. Okay, so when I scrap that one on the top left here, it said contents transferred to workbench. So if you scrap a container, which the mirror was a container, and there's something in it, it'll just put whatever was in it in the workshop so you can find it later. So I'll probably have to go through and see what we looted. It was most likely a bobby pin. Not going to use the refrigerator. Now you'd think that you'd be like, oh, it's a stove or a refrigerator, I can use it for stuff, but no, not really. You can't really use it for anything. That's why I'm just scrapping it. Likewise with the doors that I'm scrapping, like you can't pick it up and put it somewhere else. Okay. Well, I mean, I could select the junk and then I can place it somewhere else, but like I'm not going to be able to put it in the frame and have it work again as a door. So I'm just going to scrap it. Now if I exit out, this door is still on there, so I can open and close it, so that still works, but the other door, like I couldn't just put it back up here and then have it work. Okay, let's get back in the workshop. And I think that is it for here. Now, the same button that I used for the workshop, if I just hit it instead of holding it down, it changes me to the third-person view. And you can take a look at your outfit and be like, oh yeah, I like that, or I don't like that. I don't like playing that way, so we're just going to do that. Oh, here's more stuff. Oops. Didn't hold it long enough. Okay. Now, it looks like my comic book survived. And if I mouse over it, I can read it. So I'm going to hit that to read. And this is an item that you can collect here. So I've collected an issue of Grognak the Barbarian, and critical hits with unarmed and melee attacks permanently do 5+ more damage. So these are like little mini perks that give you special things if you find them. All the Grognak ones usually give you extra to your melee. I don't know exactly how many there are because I didn't research that before I did this video. I guess I should have, but I don't know. It's not something that I pay too much attention to when I'm playing the game. But be on the lookout for those magazines, and then also the other thing are like bobbleheads, which we'll see probably in the next video. But that will also increase what you have. And then, like, if I go to build something here, so let's go back to my house, and I'm gonna go to decorations, and which one is it? Actually, furniture, containers. No, that's not it. Shelves. Yes. Okay. So under shelves. So here's a magazine rack, and then also this giant magazine rack. I'm going to use the small one. Actually, no. Actually, I'm not, because if I look at what it's built with, let's see. Actually, it's the same thing. That's weird. 1 screw and 1 steel. I'm sorry, 1 screw and 4 steel. So I'm going to put this here. And that actually levels this up. And then when I go to it, I can actually click on it and transfer. And we are going to drop the magazine there. And then exit out, and now it is there. And this will hold 20 as well as the other one will hold 20. So let's drop this stuff off that we've picked up and don't need. The subway token, the year special, we don't need that anymore. And I'm going to drop off this food that has rads in it, so we don't need the cram. All these are good. The bloatfly meat, we don't need the rads, don't need that Nuka-Cola, and the rest is good. Okay, so we've done all that. We've built something. Actually, I'm going to build one more thing. I'm going to go in here and build a bed. So furniture, beds, and let's get a nice looking one. Now you see as I move it, anywhere that it's green, I can place it, but I can't put it in the wall, which is why it's red. And so I'm just going to try to get it as close to the wall as I can. Okay. Now, with beds, what you can do is you can actually sleep on them, which will heal you up. And when I click on it, it tells you how many hours you want to sleep for. So I'm actually going to sleep for 1 hour. And now I feel rested, and I'm healed, and I'm good to go, but now it is darker outside. And if I go back to the workshop, now it shows 1 bed. So the thing with the beds is if you have people that come in, they will just take whatever bed. So if you want to keep a bed for yourself, I recommend having the max people at your settlement and then building another bed for yourself. I'm just going to leave that. Actually, I'm going to move this because if I have other people in my settlement, I don't want them taking a bed in my house because it's my house. We're just going to leave this here for now, just as a resting point. Okay, so now that we've done all that, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go on the perk chart since we have a level. So if I open up my Pip-Boy, it'll show you level up 1, hit Y. It'll take me to the perk chart. So what I can do is I can either increase my special stats at the top, which will give me access to more levels here, or I can pick one of the perks. I'm actually going to pick one of the perks, and we're going to go for this Fortune Finder so that I can find more bottle caps in containers and get rich. So we're going to click A twice, and that has picked us up. So if I hit the right button, it shows me the next rank in this, which would be 2. It requires me to be level 5 and luck 1, but you find even more bottle caps. Oops, didn't mean to exit out of that, sorry. So if you go to any of the perks, it'll let you know by hitting the right button what the next perk will be. So when you open it up, pickpocket, picking pockets 25% easier, and if I was at level 2, it would be 50% easier. So we'll go over that more again, like I said, when we pick it, and I'll tell you why I pick it. But I'm pretty much going to do Fortune Finder and then Scrounger for more ammunition. And I like to do Sneak because I like to sneak around. It makes it easier to kill things without dying. And that is the perk chart. So that is the basics for this game. And we will go into Concord probably on the next episode so that we can take a look at what's going on. If you want to check out my other episodes, like I said, where I've scrapped everything, you can check that out. And then probably soon I will have more videos where I just build things using mods on that. But we'll probably build on this one first so you can see what it looks like, and then I can explain why I've used the mods. So we will see you next time. Have a good day.